Friends, welcome to this video presentation on NEP 2020 and Curriculum and Pedagogy. We as teachers, we all have been teaching all through our career. We have been doing our curriculum course design in certain ways, and we have been taking care of teaching learning, whether we are teaching face-to-face, online, blended, and otherwise also. NEP 2020 stipulates some of the very innovative ways of doing things, and I will highlight some of them, and therefore it takes care of the holistic and multidisciplinary perspective that NEP has been talking about. What you see on your screen is that the main thrust so far pedagogic curriculum is concerned. The National Education Policy 2020 talks about Indian culture and values, indigenous knowledge, Bharatiya Gyana Parampara, regional and local languages, local dialects at the school level, even in college and university level, also teaching in local language, even the professional areas of medical science, engineering, and so on and so forth. It talks about pedagogy in context, putting theory into practice, almost 50-50 formulation that 50% should be diverted towards internship as well as activities, student engagement, and practicum. Multidisciplinary, I'll talk about that, and holistic, interdisciplinary. Already the UGC has the outcome-based learning framework and graduate attributes, which we would also take into consideration. Accreditation of prior learning insofar as skill development is concerned, and transferring the skills or the credits for the skills with evidences available towards putting in more credits and giving exemption to those credits and take towards a certificate, diploma, or degree. Skilling and employability is the major issue, which is an integral part of teaching learning process and curriculum in NEP 2020. In fact, two have been very important in NEP 2020, that a liberal arts foundation course would be compulsory across the board, including professional education, which will develop social and life skills, happiness skills, and vocational education and training or skilling and employability would become compulsory part of the curriculum across the board. Technology-enabled learning is the issue that NEP is talking about, to tell into the mainstream of teaching and learning rather than keeping it as supplementary or complementary. It should be integrated into our teaching learning process. Whether you are teaching face-to-face, distance, online, or blended, these 5 areas that I have listed, they would be extremely useful to consider in designing the curriculum and courses, as also designing teaching learning strategies, including assessment strategies. How do you transmit knowledge? How do you provide information? How to ensure interaction and negotiation of meaning, individual creation of meaning, and development of values, and so on and so forth. Collaboration for sharing values and mutual respect, and development of positive attitude towards life and society and teaching learning contexts. How to put our own understanding into a reflective practice that reflects on own action and reflects on in action, while doing and after doing, which is a very powerful strategy to develop higher order learning, and how to ensure in our assessment strategies that assimilation has really taken place. There can be 3 kinds of curriculum design. We have been more dominated by subject-centered design largely, but there are institutions, professional institutions and otherwise, they have gone beyond that, beyond the subject-centered, subject matter and discipline-based teaching and learning, to more learner-centered, individual learner, learning style-oriented, and problem-centered teaching and learning. This problem-centered and project-based learning, including portfolios, have been brought forward to the mainstream of teaching learning insofar as NEP's recommendations are concerned. What you see is 3 kinds of delivery strategy that we can combine and allocate our credit hours, that some of the credit hours we can divert towards self-learning with guided mentoring, some for face-to-face learning, and face-to-face learning should be more towards hands-on experiences, practicum, interaction, engagement, internship, and online collaborative learning could be collaborative projects, which can be project-based learning or problem-based learning or even case-based learning. These 3 need to be judiciously combined, whether one is teaching face-to-face, distance, online, or even blended. And this should be called as blended teaching and learning. Now, a holistic curriculum that the NEP is proposing, that it is proposing a flexible curricular structures that you see on your screen, which will integrate the STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art and mathematics, industry, academia linkages insofar as skill development courses are concerned, multiple entry and exit, and the 4-year undergraduate program, which is under deliberation under higher education, National Higher Education Qualifications Framework, talk about multiple entry and exit after 1 year certificate, 40 credits, 2 years diploma, 3 years an undergraduate and 4 years an undergraduate with honors, and it can lead to a 2 years master's or 1 year master, and then the PhD program. Community engagement and service to form compulsory part of the curriculum exercise. Research and internship, almost 40 credits equivalent in the undergraduate 4-year program is 40 credits equivalent to research and internship. Environment and value-based education, Indian language, culture and art, skilling and employability, and multidisciplinary and holistic education, meaning thereby that the students would be allowed to take courses from other disciplines of their choice, depending on their requirement, their needs and their choice, and those credits will be counted towards one's own degree, and multidisciplinarity will be encouraged because of development of values, attitude, happiness skills, and so also skill-based courses, which one can expand one's own employability by taking courses from other disciplines. The 4-year undergraduate program that you see on the screen, 160 credit, which is under discussion, which nicely combines varieties of disciplinary, interdisciplinary core courses, disciplinary and interdisciplinary electives, skill enhancements, ability enhancement courses, value addition courses, field-based internship, apprenticeship, community engagement, research, and advanced diploma courses from within, of course, one's own discipline, all put together 160 credits, though the University of Delhi has gone beyond towards 176 credits in 4-year undergraduate program. But these broad areas are part of the undergraduate curriculums, so also they could form part of the certificate, diploma, degree programs because of the multiple entry and exit options available. And the student will be acquiring credit hours based on these courses, which one will be depositing in the academic bank of credits, and gradually that if the discipline core meets that certain level of credits, one will be getting degree in that discipline, and the university or the college which is providing that maximum credit applicable for a discipline would be offering the degree, but the student would have the choice to take up courses, and therefore in the future more skill-based courses will be coming in to the platter, to the basket, and the curriculum basket, course baskets, and students will be taking up those courses from other disciplines, especially which are skill-based, which will be expanding their employability market. Therefore, a curriculum design which we have been following largely, and I know many professional institutions, IITs, IIMs, they have been following a very diversified, flexible, but structured curriculum design that we conduct a needs analysis, and based on many other factors, including human resource development requirements, national and regional needs, global developments, discipline knowledge structure, which is the discipline core, research and development findings, indigenous knowledge base, Bharatiya Gyan Parampara, faculty expertise, the learner's profile, and so on and so forth, curriculum based practices. All these lead towards a concept mapping of the program or the courses, and which we call as a curriculum blueprint. And the curriculum blueprint is translated into learning outcomes, and learning outcomes are associated with the learning activities, including apprenticeship, that the students will be undertaking to meet those learning outcomes, and we have to develop assessment rubrics that the NEP is talking about, very diversified, expanded assessment rubric strategies that should meet the learning outcomes vis-a-vis those activities. In between, we provide resources, we undertake teaching and learning, bring in media and technology. So therefore, the discipline, the skill areas that the NEP is talking about broadly I have listed as discipline skills, employability skills, social and life and happiness skills, self-regulated and metacognitive learning skills, technology skills or digital literacy, and learning to learn skills. 21st century skills, they've been talking about. The NEP has talked about extensively on 21st century skills, which are basically communication skills, independent learning skills, thinking skills, critical problem solving, creativity, responsibility and ethical skills, leadership skills, digital skills, knowledge management skills, and as I said, self-directed learning, metacognitive skills, self-regulated learning skills, including happiness skills. So therefore, we need to find out the relationship between the curriculum mapping, concept mapping, 1, 2, the graduate attributes and learning outcomes derived from that, 3, the learning activities that we need to engage, design and therefore engage students with, including internship, which will carry forward or achieve the learning outcomes, and we have to develop authentic task and authentic assessment strategies or rubric which will assess those learning outcomes. So therefore, we need to integrate between learning outcomes, activities and assessment. Learning outcome 1, activities assessment. Learning outcome 2, activities assessment. This is possible across any discipline, whether one is teaching language, literature, whether one is teaching professional education or social sciences or management or education, or even community development programs. So we need to take here is an example matrix in front of you. We can take up help of any other matrix that you know, which doesn't matter, but what is important is that there must be a mapping of the courses and the modules and the units, their learning outcomes, the credit hours, activities and assignments which are associated with that course or the module, learning support that will be provided, the learning resources, print, audio, video and face-to-face interaction, and the assessment rubric. Once we are clear about this matrix, it will be very easy for us to bring in multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary and skilling and employability into this with multiple entry and exit options available. The resources that we could consider, there are many resources available in this country. There are also MOOCs available elsewhere that one can take up also MOOCs to study, but those should be recognized by the statutory bodies of one's own institution. For instance, the MOOC courses resources that are available is the best and the largest is the SOEM platform with a 4-quadrant approach, as you must be familiar with. And the Class Central, which is a nodal agency, international agency, lists that almost 10 million students have been registered in SOEM, though the highest has been Coursera with 45 million in 2021, and more than 154 universities have accepted credit transfer for courses offered through SOEM. And now it must have increased in 2022 because this is 2021 data. NPTEL, National Program for Technology-Enabled Learning, which is a consortium of 7 Indian Institute of Technology, which in fact NPTEL is a part of the SOEM program, that the video-based programs, courses are being offered through SOEM platform. And the instructional videos in engineering and related subject areas are available, and many have been using this. And so you can also use these vis-a-vis your students for ourselves to study as teachers and for students also to recommend. It will be nice that if these courses or these modules are integrated into your course structure and curriculum structure. The UGC has already allowed up to 40% credit hours, which one can take from SOEM and other courses, and get credit transfer to one's own certificate, diploma or degree, especially degree programs, and 60% one can provide through classroom teaching or online or distance learning, which will be leading to a degree. And AICTE has developed more than 3,000 virtual internships which are free of cost, which one can also tap into. There is a MOOC kit which is created by IIT Kanpur in 2012, ARC4 Cloud certification, and this is in collaboration with IIT Ropar, which is available in 6 languages. There's an IIT BEX created by IIT Mumbai or Bombay in 2014 by integrating Drupal 8 and OpenEdX. And this has got 4 kinds of MOOCs available which you can use: Edu MOOCs, Skill MOOCs, Tech MOOCs, and Live MOOCs. IIT Bangalore has created in 2014 which is called IIMBX. It offers MOOCs courses in various areas of management sciences. AG MOOCs, which is an agriculture MOOCs, which was created in 2015 by IIT Kanpur, Commonwealth of Learning, IIM Kolkata, and the University of Agricultural Sciences, Raichur. And the MOOCs platform is offering agricultural education to students, and with joint certification by IIT Kanpur and the Commonwealth of Learning. The Odisha State Open University created vis-a-vis SEMCA, with the help of SEMCA, a MOOC on training of academic counselors, which can be very useful for teachers to go through those books, that MOOC, even if one is teaching face-to-face. There is also VES Skills MOOC for banking and finance, with almost 2.5 million registered users. There is e-Vidya Bharati portal, which is providing online resources especially for cross-border education delivery or internationalization education. InflibNet and EPG Pathshala for UGC, there have been plenty of resources which are curriculum-based and which are relating to subject or discipline-based, which can also be tapped. But recently, the UGC Ministry of Information Technology, Electronic Information Technology, developed a Common Service Center program, which was inaugurated in July 29, just a few days back. And these are online resources for rural areas. Almost 23,000 PG courses and 137 SWAYM courses and other courses which are non-engineering courses are listed over there. Almost 5 lakh common service centers in 2.5 lakh village panchayats and others have been established. The student can register, pay a little fee. It was told some 20 rupees or so. The student can register per day to use that and earn credits vis-a-vis completion of these courses and transfer these course credit completion to their academic bank of credits, which will be counted towards certification, towards a certificate, diploma, or degree, and therefore credit transfer is very much possible. So friends, I would sum it one thing to you, that skill development and employability has been a major priority across disciplines vis-a-vis the NEP 2020 to enhance the ability of the graduates for self-employment or even employment in the public and private sector, including NGOs and international organizations. I would submit to you the consideration of micro-credential courses, which are small bits of skill-based courses which students can take up to compensate or to enhance their employability skills. These are small courses focusing on skill sets mapped into qualifications framework, and the qualifications framework are mapped alongside the National Higher Education Qualifications Framework, which is compatible with National Skills Qualifications Framework. The focus is on training for world of work and developing additional professional skills which will be useful for the graduates. They will enhance the employability skills which are benchmarked against the industry frameworks, because now it is coming up that the skill-based curriculum should be developed in collaboration with industry and in conformity with the National Skills Qualifications Framework, and the students will be able to show evidence-based assessment, and therefore award is possible, and micro-credential course credits could also be transferred to one's own certificate, diploma or degree. So far pedagogy is concerned, I have listed quite a few which you could consider and integrate depending on your discipline and the subject area and the level of the students and the context that they are, because context and language and culture are very important to one's own teaching and learning. And therefore, Bharatiya Gyan Parampara and Indian indigenous knowledge based on our culture and tradition and our indigenous knowledge should be brought into insofar as curriculum and course contents are concerned, and insofar as pedagogic strategies are also concerned, which could be context and culture specific, preferably in mother language or one's own regional language at least. They could also be in English or any other language. Project-based learning, I'm emphasizing this project-based learning because these facilitate in developing skills for very minute project tasks and their implementation, and that students in the process learn certain skills which they would minutely do based on, say, research evidences. These are policy research, this could be any kind of projects that they will be doing. Case-based learning, besides project-based learning, I must also note that we should consider problem-based learning. So the problem-based learning and project-based learning should be brought to the forefront, which we are considering much less, except that in like a master's dissertation or a project or an internship project, but this should form an integral part of teaching learning process all through the year or the semester. Case-based learning, working on a case or a problem with guided inquiry, with mentoring support provided by the teacher, and collaborative learning and teamwork and experience sharing, which the students can undertake. They would learn higher order skills based on these. E-portfolio, portfolio as well as e-portfolio. This is a very important, most probably for me, the best strategy that we can bring in, that the students can create their own portfolio, which they would showcase as an evidence of the application of their relevant skills that they have learned. They reflect on their experience and situations, integrate into academic learning with lived experiences, which today is detached, that our academic teaching is diverse from the actual context of living or society or community. They must be integrated, and they could do a digital compilation of work experiences or achievements. To continue pedagogies, we should also consider competency-based learning, which is possible in any discipline. This is simply mastering a set of skills in one course before moving to the next. That is the application of knowledge in practical situations, and those competencies could be based on the learning outcomes. Conversational learning or learning through dialogue, which is very much possible online. I have brought in, say for instance, an online model or any proprietary LMS platform discussion forum interaction where collaboration, reflection, experimentation, active engagement by sharing application in local context is very much possible, because the students will bring in their experiences from their local context, which other students will get enriched. So combining theory and skills, and combining theory and skills on the one hand, and the lived experiences of the students, bringing the experiences from their own context. This will be very enriching insofar as collaborative learning, cooperative learning is concerned. Finally, I have listed self-regulated learning and metacognitive learning, which we must consider very seriously, that the students would be taking charge of their own learning, facilitated by the teacher. That the students would, teacher's responsibility would be to develop the skills and competencies of the students, that they will take charge of their learning. They will set goals, they will manage their time, they will decide what help is needed, they will search resources, choose learning strategies, their own learning strategies suitable to them, reflect on them, evaluate their learning outcomes. Meaning thereby that the students will take full control of their learning, they will monitor their own progress, and they will focus on learning outcomes. All the process is facilitated and mentored by the teacher. What you see on your screen is a representation, collation of the learning outcomes, starting from knowledge, understanding till creativity level, and finally the constructivist learning, that the students' engagement with the context and learning the way one would like to learn or one is proficient to learn. So depending on one's own ability, that the learning task will be designed and context would be provided to the students, that they will best engage efficiently and effectively in that process of learning. Knowledge could be multiple choice questions, understanding, oral examination, poster presentation, application through case study, analysis, course essays. Essays are very important in teaching and learning besides multiple choice tests. Creativity by project-based learning and problem-based learning, which I have already talked about, and constructivist learning for me would be best possible. In fact, the research says it is best possible through developing portfolios, including e-portfolios. So finally, to conclude, friends, that I will spend a few seconds on portfolios, different kinds of portfolios that we can bring forward to our learning, including school level learning as well as college and university learning across the board: social sciences, humanities, commerce and management, and education, other community development courses, so also professional courses of engineering, medicine, pharmacy, and so on, and architecture. Developmental portfolios, which are very much subject specific portfolios. Planning portfolio, which is an entry level early ability mapping of the students, that the students, you could call them as prior knowledge assessment or something like that. A proficiency portfolio, the graduate attributes and outcomes, learning outcomes, which are joined together in a learning journal or a diary or called a portfolio. Showcase portfolio, the evidence which can collect and collate the best of the works of the students and the graduates. Employability portfolio, that the ability, the readiness and ability of the students to do a particular job or work or a varieties of work contexts. And success potential portfolio which is required for admission to the next grade. So friends, to conclude what I have said very briefly in this program, I have highlighted that we need to reconsider and qualitatively enhance our curriculum and course design and our pedagogies that will be used in translating courses into action, engaging students more, reflecting on their engagement, facilitating students to reflect on their engagement, and bring in more multidisciplinary courses, especially skill-based courses from other disciplines, even knowledge-based courses from other disciplines, value-based courses from other disciplines that the students would like to take up. And we should also design in such a way multiple entry and exit is possible. There are plenty of resources, some of them important that I have quoted over here, mentioned here, that the students need to be engaged with, and teachers need to bring those resources and build those resources into their teaching and learning within the classroom or even outside the classroom or at a distance or online and blended learning. And finally, I must submit to you that it needs a holistic planning of curriculum and course design for the holistic development of the students. I hope that you found this useful. You must read the NEP more, and some of the good practices that are coming up from different institutions from time to time to ensure that we are very much at what exactly we need to do insofar as our own curriculum design and pedagogic design and teaching learning is concerned. Thank you very much.